In 2018, a man stepped onto a beach he had been warned never to visit. He wasn't carrying a weapon. He wasn't running from anyone. He wasn't even lost. He came here on purpose. A few hours later, he was dead. Normally, a murder like this would make headlines around the world. Police would arrive. Investigators would search the area. The people responsible would be arrested. Except, none of that happened. The police never arrested the killers. The government never recovered the body. Instead, they told everyone else to stay away. Which raises one question. What kind of place is so dangerous that an entire country refuses to enter it? The answer is a tiny island hidden deep in the Indian Ocean. From above, it looks perfect. White beaches, crystal clear water, dense green forests. If someone showed you a picture without telling you where it was, you'd probably want to book a vacation there. That would be the biggest mistake of your life. Because this isn't just another tropical island. It's one of the only places on Earth where stepping onto the beach could get you killed within minutes. The island is called North Sentinel, and visiting it isn't just discouraged, it's illegal. But here's the strange part. The law isn't there to protect tourists. It's there to protect the people living on the island. Think about that for a second. A group of people can attack almost anyone who lands there, and the government still chooses to protect them. Why? Because these aren't ordinary people. They've never used the internet, never watched television, never ordered food, never sat inside a car. Most likely, they don't even know the modern world exists. Imagine living your entire life without knowing billions of other humans share the same planet. Sounds impossible. Except, it's real. Nobody knows exactly how long they've lived there. Some researchers believe it's been thousands of years, while the rest of humanity built cities, invented writing, crossed oceans, and eventually landed on the moon. This tiny community stayed almost completely isolated, not because they couldn't leave, because they never needed to. Now you might be wondering, if they've survived alone for all this time, why doesn't everyone just leave them alone? Because humans are curious, and curiosity has a habit of ignoring warnings. Over the years, explorers, researchers, fishermen, and even missionaries all believed the same thing. Maybe we'll be the first people they accept. They weren't. In fact, almost every attempt ended the exact same way. Someone gets close. People emerge from the trees. Bows are raised. And suddenly, everyone's trying to get back to the boat. But here's what's strange. The Sentinelese don't chase ships across the ocean. They don't attack nearby islands. They don't hunt outsiders. They only become violent when someone enters their world. Almost like they're sending one very clear message. Leave us alone. Which sounds simple enough, until you realize people kept coming back anyway. At first, it actually looked like it was working. Researchers stayed far enough away that nobody felt threatened. Instead of trying to force a conversation, they simply dropped gifts onto the beach. Then they waited. For a few seconds, nothing happened. The island was completely silent. No movement. No people. Nothing. Then, someone appeared. Then another. Then another. Within seconds, an entire group was standing on the beach. Then something unexpected happened. The researchers rolled several coconuts onto the beach. Now, that might not sound like a big deal, until you realize coconut trees don't naturally grow on North Sentinel Island. To the Sentinelese, these weren't just gifts. They were objects they'd probably never seen before. People picked them up, carried them away. No arrows, no attack. Back on the boat, everyone thought the same thing. Maybe this is the beginning. They were wrong. Because the next visit, before the boat even reached the shore, people started running out of the forest. Not to greet them, to stop them. Bows appeared. Spears followed. The researchers hadn't even stepped onto the sand, and they were already being told to leave. That was enough. Because everyone on board had just realized something. The Sentinelese weren't reacting randomly. They knew exactly where their boundary was. The moment someone crossed it, their answer was always the same. Leave. The Sentinelese weren't waiting for rescue. They weren't asking for help. They wanted exactly one thing. To be left alone. So eventually, the Indian government did something almost unheard of. Instead of trying harder, they stopped trying altogether. No more attempts to make friends. No more trying to civilize them. Instead, they created a protected zone around the island. If anyone sails too close, they can be stopped before they even reach the beach. At first, that sounds ridiculous. Why protect people who clearly don't want anything to do with the rest of humanity? Then you learn something that changes the entire story. The arrows were never the biggest danger. We were. Which raises a terrifying possibility. What if the greatest threat to the Sentinelese isn't the people trying to attack them? It's the people trying to help them? Maybe. The people we've spent this entire video calling isolated are actually the ones who understand something the rest of us forgot. Sometimes, the safest way to protect a world is to leave it alone.